Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Kaga. So today I'm continuing the World of Warships 0.5.3 videos here, and this is the second tale of a battleship in this small little mini-series, if you will. The one that you're looking at is the Tier 7 Japanese battleship, the Nagato. And before we get too far into this replay, I just want to make certain that I talk a little bit about it, because it's the first time I've really featured Nagato segments on the channel. And, you know, this is a ship with a bit of a rap. I personally, after having gone through it in CBT, I liked it fully upgraded. So I've been kind of eager to get back into it, and then, surprise, they changed the stock hull, made it a little bit of a grind to actually get through. I really do recommend, when you actually get to this ship, going for the hull upgrade B before you get the engine, even though this is as you can see, it's very, very slow at about 22 knots. But I guarantee you that the increase in the shell performance is really worth it. And yes, it is part of the B hull upgrade rather than much of anything else, rather than like a turret upgrade or a gun upgrade or anything like that. Go for the B hull upgrade, then the engine, then go for the extra AA that the C hull upgrade will get you. Anyway, back to the match. So we're steaming off this way because we've got 2 destroyers on our side, 3 cruisers. You know, good. Let's go ahead. Let's put some pressure this way and see what develops. You know, you get these warm, butterfly feelings. Yeah, warm. When you see the map disposition, you see more red dots coming this way than blue dots, and you go, oh boy. Well, at the very least, it's a little bit more even than, you know, 2 versus 10. But, yeah, doesn't mean that we're happy about being outnumbered. Especially since we have very fragile cruisers. I know it's one thing to go, like, for a battleship to go, maybe I can make it over that island. But, man, I wonder what that guy was thinking. Totally zoomed in there. Well, anyway, we're gonna go ahead. We got some good damage on that enemy Nagato. We're gonna go take a punt at this Cleveland. Just see what we can get. It's not quite the right spot for a Citadel. A little too high on the ship, but, you know, a little bit low of 10,000 damage isn't bad. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead, gonna reacquire on this Nagato. And, you know, just wait for it. The 31-second reload on the guns really goes by fairly quickly, so long as you're paying attention, you're looking around, spend the time adjusting for fall of shot. That one probably felt like a Citadel to him, but it wasn't. A very unusual number. Okay. Now we're gonna go. No, wait, his friend is angling against us. Is there another better cruiser to take a punt at? He's gonna disappear behind the island before I can get the shot. Oh, he's leveling out. Okay, we're gonna go for him again. Alright. Sending shots. Looks like he was fixating on that cruiser, and rightly so. And anything that carries a torpedo is lethal. Wait, but wait a minute. That's a. I don't think that is one that has it. Yeah, that's a Cleveland. Why is he focusing on the flamethrower rather than the thing that has been punishing him for about a third of his health right there? I don't know. Cleveland's got other problems besides him, so I'm still trying to figure that one out. Force of habit, maybe. But, let's see, I'm not scoring Citadels, but at the very least, we're getting some very good damage out of this. And yeah, they're not the devastating hits that you get from citadel penetrations from battleship guns that, you know, the enemy can't really repair, but at the very least, damage is damage, and it brings them closer to being sent to Davy Jones' locker. And, you know, that in of itself is something that warrants taking the shot, especially if you can get them to connect the target, because even if it isn't irreparable, or completely irreparable, what you have is you force the condition by which, like, an enemy battleship must use their HP repair ability if they want to re-engage you on a closer to equal footing. But that being said, I can't call this an equal footing. I mean, I'm 1 battleship versus 3 and 2 cruisers, and the only help I've got is a destroyer and this 1 cruiser beside me. And right now we're going to do MMORPG tactic number 1. That is kiting. Yeah, that's right, we're going to kite them all the way back and see who's stupid enough to bite. Because only a fool would go headlong into that formation of enemies. We're going to take a punt at the Pensacola, begin going left, right on the rudders just to keep throwing them off. We make that one fall a little short. It looks like we didn't gauge the effect that our opening the distance would have on that shot correctly, but oh well, what can you do? Don't focus on it. Alright, who's the next easy target? Well, my aft guns are almost reloaded, and they've got this Furutaka more or less on sight, but I'd rather not use my rear guns on that one because these formation of 3 battleships behind me will harass me all the way home, so let me go ahead and use the rear turrets on them and the forward turrets on anything to my side. Yeah, it reduces the number of times I can pull the trigger in any given time, but at the same, or by the same token, it also means that I expose my citadel, well, my broadsides to enemy battleship guns a whole lot less often, from a lot less angles, like that Furutaka just found out. Ha 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 ha. Never go full broadsides to a battleship. And I'd like to add the caveat, it's not to say that you won't get citadel penetrations from odd angles or obtuse angles, they're just a whole lot less likely. They've literally got to come straight down, virtually down through the deck, and still have enough energy to punch through the interior armor structure. Not easy. And that's why when you can get side shots through relatively unarmored, the relatively unarmored areas from the side in that respect, it's always better. Or pass it right through the forecastle. Oh, we're gonna go ahead. It looks like we've got the 2 enemy Nagatos biting onto our lure, so let's go ahead and lure them back. And being very careful to try to time my shots to when they're reloading. We're going to go ahead and start applying pressure. Now, we're not expecting anything amazing at this point. The tactical aim of this entire maneuver is just to damage them as much as possible, because realistically, if you're 2 versus 1 in a battleship and there's a destroyer on your flank, I think most of us are going to come to the conclusion we won't last long. So the most we can ever hope to do, or should ever plan to accomplish in this situation, is to just do as much damage as we can, and hope that the allies can finish up after that. And part of this whole doing the most damage we can is not being stupid, and making certain that you can punish the enemy for their mistakes, but they're not able to punish you for yours. And that's where this little serpentine motion comes in. You're going to notice that I I'm a little bit wide with some of these, and that's because I'm being conscious of the map border, and it will cost me a little bit of a minor penetration there to my sides. But even though it says heavy damage and moderate damage, it's nothing close to that of a citadel, so I'm not going to worry about it. Get 2 minor, lesser penetrations of the pagoda tower on that Nagato. He's now completely bow onto me, so not going to worry about him. Let's get his little friend over there. Try to work him over for some of the good news. He lands a shot on top of my turret, but it ricochets off. Alright, I'm gonna go for the next one. Ooh, this guy's straddling me. Thank you, RNGesus. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna keep this up here. And all the while, whenever you're in this kind of situation, this is gonna be frustrating to be one of those 2 battleships, because you've been chasing this person for a few minutes, your shots are kind of connecting, but nothing major. Just for the love of God, don't give the person what they want and basically come to the point where, yeah, you're angry. You're no longer going to be playing correctly. And the person raging in chat, is that lone, or now lone, enemy Nagato, who is come to the realization that this all was a trap. Or maybe it was a trap. At least maybe not intentionally, but our friendly destroyer over there is wise enough to realize an opportunity when he sees it, put some pressure down on that Nagato again with some torpedoes. He's finally decided that he's had enough. He has had enough. So now we're going to play this game of who makes the critical mistake first. Alright, we're going to go ahead and see if our luck holds out. We're going to pull the trigger. And right on schedule, or is it not really on schedule, but as if he knew exactly what I needed, friendly destroyer drops a smoke screen, and those shots whiz harmlessly past the port side of my ship. Oh yeah, and we scored a citadel penetration against that Nagato. Yep, that's what you get for going broadside onto an enemy battleship. And now afforded cover from direct line of sight against this enemy Nagato, I'm going to take a punt at him. And I can afford to do this without getting detected because line of sight is broken with that enemy Nagato. The enemy cruiser that was in the Bravo capture point has been sunk, and there are no enemy destroyers left, so if someone was going to spot me with this positioning, the only likely option it could have ever been was the destroyer. So we're not going to have to worry about that. Alright, so now, also knowing that there are no enemy destroyers left, let's go ahead, get this ship readied up for another salvo against this Nagato, see if we can't put him under before our team completes the mission and gets the 1,000 points necessary to win the domination game mode. Okay, feeling a little bit of that pressure because you know you'll always want more damage. You always want that next kill. I pull the lead just a little bit short. Oh well, piddly. Alright, now we're going to turn in a little bit harder than maybe he's expecting, and hit the round ends before his rounds could even get close to connecting. So, for our troubles, we managed to pick up 170,000 credits, almost 3,000 experience received, and that's with the daily modifier, but not premium. We picked up the high caliber award for doing like 20% of the damage of the enemy health pool, or the entire enemy health pool. I think I remember the text to that correctly. For combining the buttons for target hits and citadel penetrations, that's 52 shell hits. Did a good amount of damage that round. We'll see a little bit more on that in the final result screen. And got one ship sunk. Did fairly well there. And oh yeah, did we do fairly well there. Almost 2,000 base experience, finishing top of the team list just overall, and by not exactly a small margin. Over 400 base experience between myself and the Nuremberg, though admittedly that is a very good round in a Nuremberg. And oh, hey, the New York lived. Wasn't expecting that. I have to admit, I really was not expecting him to live through that match. That isn't to say that I was sitting there going, sink, 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 because it isn't. It was on the other side of the map. It wouldn't have done anything for me if he was there or not. But anyway, so with over 175,000 damage dealt for our 52 AP shell hits, that's a fair bit of damage in a given stretch of time. Looks like, well, RNGesus may not have let us Citadel very often. Pit taking that accuracy upgrade for the cannons really did help out this ship a lot. And it can really just feast on the enemies if you know when to engage and when to turn around. And you know, with a little luck too. Luck is like half the battle, I guess. Anyway, thank you for having bared with me for about 17 minutes at this point. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving a like down below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button to stay tuned for future content. Speaking of that, there will be another battleship tale to be told in tomorrow's video, and it will be another one of those 0.5.3 videos. Maybe this one was a little less emphasis on the 0.5.3 and a little bit more on the whole Nagato business, but we try. What more can we do? I suppose we could do a lot more. Yeah. I don't think Japanese battleships have changed appreciably much through mid-tier, so the previous builds still work. So yeah, I think we covered a little bit of that. Yeah, sorry for putting that off until the end. Yeah, I'll work on that. It'll be different tomorrow, I swear. It will be. Anyway, thank you, and good day.